All right, so let me train the multi-class logistic regression again because it seemed to work really well. Obviously, you could get the multi-layer neural network to work really well as well. It's just that you need to really fiddle with the parameters. All right, it finished running. Let's make sure that we're not confused here. So visualize the evaluation again. Seem to be doing pretty good. And what I can do now in order to get outputs for new samples is to set up this web service thing. So, okay, so what I want is I want a predictive web service. Cool. So here's what I have, and this is going to be called faces. Okay. And now I want to run it just to see what happens. Alright, and now what I want to do is I want to deploy it. So let's do that. Alright, and now let's do this. So what I want to do is I want to test it like so. So here what they're offering for me to do is to actually enter those things manually, not something that I want to do because I'd have to enter the values of 1024 pixels. Now what I can do instead is go here it takes a little bit it takes a short while to load, and what I get is this kind of web page. If I go to the very bottom, what I have is I have sample code for actually accessing this web service. So I'll take the Python code. So here it is. It looks like this. So I'll just copy it. And we'll go here and I'll paste it. So this is what it looks like. So here's what's going on. So here what you're doing is you're inputting several queries. So here what you have is column names, and as you see you have like column 0 and then 0 and then everything else like this up until column 1024. And what you have here is you have the values. So you have two rows. So you have one row of all zeros and another row that's also all zeros. So obviously that's not useful. So what you want to do is you want to change this query to actually contain an image. So specifically, let's do it like that. So the line is going to be, we'll get the first row from test x, so the row at index 1, and we'll have 0 on either side. The reason we have zeros on either side here is because we start at column 0, not at this 0, and we end at 1024, which is actually the output which we kind of supply, right? So here's what we'll do. We'll transform the data like this. So I'll just copy and paste it here. And here I'll just change this guy. Now I also need to change the API key to the actual API key. So I need to find what the API key here is. This is it. So let me paste it here. So this is it. I took this guy from the test, and now I'm ready to run all of this stuff. Okay, so I ran it. I haven't yet sent a query, so here I'm sending the query. I got some kind of response, so this is gonna be the result. And now the result is gonna be just slightly unwieldy, but I can figure it out. So here's the result. Now there's like a lot of stuff, but what I want to do is I want to actually look at the column names, so I'm not gonna bother to actually parse it. So here you see scored probabilities for class 0, scored probabilities for class 1, scored probabilities for class 2, and you have your scored labels. So where's my probabilities? Well, here they are. So here the probability for class 1 is 85, 0 is 85, the probability for class 1 is this, the probability for class 2 is this, and the label, I think, is this guy. So there you have it. It worked.